This video contains a truth that has changed the lives of many people. If you are having health problems and have ever felt stuck, please subscribe to the channel and leave a comment in the comment section so we can share useful knowledge together. Have you ever felt like your energy is fading faster than it used to, even when you've had a good night's sleep? Maybe you find yourself craving sweets more often, or noticing that your vision isn't quite as sharp as it once was. Or perhaps you've been told by your doctor that your blood sugar is a little high, and you're now carrying around this quiet worry that diabetes might be knocking at your door. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And here's the truth: catching these changes early is a gift. Yes, a gift, because it means there's still time to turn things around. You don't have to accept low energy, foggy thinking, or creeping weight gain as just another part of getting older. Many of these early symptoms of diabetes can be reversed, and today, I want to show you exactly how. Now, I've been in medicine for over 30 years, and I've seen what works, not just in textbooks, but in real life with real people just like you. The good news: you don't need extreme diets, expensive supplements, or hours at the gym. You need simple, powerful lifestyle changes that fit your life, not the other way around. So in this video, we're going to walk through 5 changes that can help you take control of your blood sugar, feel more energized, and even turn the clock back on early diabetes symptoms. And the best part is, they're all things you can start doing today. Before we jump in, I want to say something important. If you've been dealing with diabetes, prediabetes, or any other health challenges, I'd love for you to share your experience in the comments. You never know who you might help by opening up. And I'll be down there too, answering questions and giving support where I can. Alright, let's get into the first habit, and trust me, this one might surprise you. Let's talk about how you start your day. Most people over 60, especially if they grew up in a time when breakfast was the most important meal, begin their morning with toast, orange juice, cereal, or even just a cup of coffee and a muffin. It's fast, it's familiar, and let's be honest, it's comforting. But here's what's really going on. That kind of breakfast spikes your blood sugar first thing in the morning. Your body reacts by releasing a wave of insulin, and that can lead to a crash. A couple of hours later, you're left feeling tired, maybe a little shaky or irritable, and wondering why you're hungry again so soon. Instead, what I've seen work again and again is a simple shift toward a protein-rich breakfast with healthy fats and fiber, eggs with avocado, a small portion of Greek yogurt with chia seeds and walnuts, even a smoothie with spinach, unsweetened almond milk, a scoop of protein, and a handful of berries. When you start your day with steady energy, you reduce cravings later on, support your insulin sensitivity, and avoid those dangerous roller coaster spikes in your blood sugar. And don't worry if you've been doing things the other way for decades. It's never too late to change, and your body will thank you for it. Now, while breakfast is important, it's not the only habit that matters. In fact, what you do between meals can be just as powerful. Let's move into something I call gentle movement after meals. You might think that exercise means going to the gym, lifting weights, or walking for miles. And if your knees hurt or your back is stiff, the thought alone might make you want to crawl back under the covers. But here's the truth. One of the simplest, most effective ways to lower your blood sugar is to take a slow, 10-minute walk after eating. That's it, 10 minutes. You don't even have to leave your house. Just walk up and down your hallway, around your kitchen, or outside if the weather's nice. When you move your muscles, even gently, they act like little sponges, soaking up the sugar from your bloodstream and using it for energy. This helps your blood sugar return to normal more quickly, reduces inflammation, and supports better digestion. One woman I worked with, 72 years old, had been dealing with borderline diabetes for years. Started walking after lunch and dinner every day. Not only did her energy go up, but her A1C dropped by a full point within 3 months. No medication changes, no fancy diets, just consistent movement after meals. And here's the beauty of it. It doesn't matter if you're fast or slow. What matters is consistency. Moving your body after you eat is like giving your pancreas a helping hand, and over time, that help adds up. These 2 habits alone, starting your morning with a steady energy breakfast, And moving gently after meals can make a remarkable difference in your blood sugar control. I've seen it with patients hundreds of times, and I know it can work for you too. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds great, but what about cravings? What about those moments when I just have to reach for something sweet? That's where our next habit comes in. But before we dive into that, take a breath and just let this sink in. You've already got two powerful tools in your hands. Simple things, doable things, and that's how real change happens, not all at once, but one choice at a time. Ready to keep going? So, we've started our day with a breakfast that keeps our blood sugar steady, and we've added some gentle movement after meals. These two changes alone can spark a big shift in how you feel, more energy, fewer crashes, and better blood sugar control without needing to overhaul your whole life. But now let's talk about something that sneaks up on so many of us, cravings, especially those ones that come in the late afternoon or after dinner. When you're watching TV and suddenly thinking about cookies, chips, or ice cream, you tell yourself it's just a little treat, but a little turns into a lot, and before you know it, you're back on the sugar roller coaster. Here's the thing, cravings aren't just about willpower. They're signals, little messages from your body that it's either missing something or stuck in a loop. And when blood sugar goes up and down too quickly, it can trick your brain into thinking it needs more food, especially sweet or starchy food. So let's talk about the third habit, filling your meals with the right kind of fiber. Fiber is one of those things we tend to overlook, but it's like a secret weapon for your blood sugar. It slows down how quickly sugar enters your bloodstream. It keeps you full longer, and this part's important, it feeds the good bacteria in your gut, which can actually improve how your body handles insulin. I often tell my patients, try building your plate around the fiber. Not just the protein or the carbs. What does that look like? Think of a colorful salad with leafy greens, bell peppers, cucumbers, and maybe a handful of chickpeas. Or roasted vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, or cauliflower with your dinner. Even adding chia seeds or flax seeds to your yogurt or smoothie can pack in a nice fiber boost, without much effort. And let's not forget beans and lentils. These are incredibly powerful when it comes to stabilizing blood sugar. If you can swap just a few meals a week to include beans instead of pasta or white rice, you may start to feel less hungry between meals, and your sugar readings could thank you for it. One of my patients, an 80-year-old man who had struggled with diabetes for over a decade, started adding a cup of lentil soup to his lunch most days. He didn't change anything else. After a few weeks, he told me he was snacking less, sleeping better, and even lost a little belly weight. Sometimes, it really is the small things done consistently that matter most. Now let's shift gears a bit, because while food and movement are essential, what's happening in your mind and your stress levels can play just as big a role in managing blood sugar. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly felt relaxed? Not just sitting down to watch TV or read the paper. I mean that deep, peaceful feeling where your shoulders drop and your thoughts slow down. As we get older, it's easy to assume that life should get simpler. But for many people over 60, stress doesn't disappear. It just changes shape. Maybe you're caring for a spouse, grieving a friend, managing your health appointments, or worrying about finances. Stress can sit quietly in the background, draining your energy, and this part may surprise you, directly affecting your blood sugar. That's why our fourth habit is creating a daily routine to lower stress. And it doesn't have to be complicated. One of the simplest things you can do is carve out just 5 to 10 minutes a day, even while lying in bed, to breathe deeply and let your nervous system relax. You can close your eyes, breathe in for 4 counts, hold for 4, and breathe out for 6. Do that for 5 minutes, and you're literally telling your body, it's safe. I don't need to pump out stress hormones right now. And those stress hormones, particularly cortisol, can raise your blood sugar all by themselves, even if your diet is perfect. That's why people under chronic stress often struggle with belly fat and higher A1C levels, even if they think they're doing everything right. You can also try journaling, stretching, sitting outside with a cup of tea, or listening to calming music. The important thing is to do it daily, not just when you're feeling anxious, but as a daily reset button. Over time, This kind of routine helps your body become less reactive to stress and more balanced when it comes to blood sugar control. And something beautiful happens when we lower stress. Sleep improves, mood lifts, and we tend to make better choices throughout the day. That evening craving for sugar might fade. You might feel more motivated to take that short walk after dinner. It all connects. I remember one woman, in her late 60s, who had been struggling with fluctuating sugars despite watching what she ate. She started a simple routine of doing 10 minutes of breathing and gentle yoga every morning, just before breakfast. After 6 weeks, not only were her sugars more stable, but she said she felt like her brain fog had finally lifted. She wasn't just surviving, she was thriving. And that's what I want for you. So far, we've talked about starting your day right, moving gently after meals, building your plate around fiber, and finding ways to quiet your mind. These aren't magic tricks. They're simple, doable shifts. But when you add them together, the result can be life-changing. And don't worry if you've had some off days in the past. This isn't about being perfect. It's about progress. One meal, one walk, one deep breath at a time. Now, before we wrap up, there's one more change I want to share, and it might be the one that pulls all the others together. So we've gone through 4 powerful yet simple habits, starting the day with a balanced, blood sugar-friendly breakfast, adding short, gentle walks after meals, building your plate around fiber-rich foods, carving out a few minutes each day to reduce stress. Now here's the final habit, and honestly, it's the one that ties everything together. Habit number 5, track what matters, but keep it simple. When people hear the word tracking, they often think of complicated logs, calorie counting, or apps that feel more confusing than helpful. But that's not what I'm talking about here. This is about developing a simple awareness of how your body responds to the things you eat, the way you move, and even how you feel emotionally. Because here's the truth, the more you understand your body's patterns, the more control you'll start to feel. Let me give you a few examples of what this can look like. Keep a small journal, maybe just a notepad on the kitchen counter. Write down what you eat, how you feel after, and what your blood sugar reads if you're checking it. Note your energy levels. Are you more tired after certain meals? Do you feel sharper after a walk? Keep track of your sleep and whether you wake up feeling rested or groggy. Poor sleep often leads to higher blood sugar levels the next morning. And here's something powerful. When you write things down, even just for a week or 2, patterns start to emerge. You might notice, hey, I actually feel better when I eat fewer processed carbs. Or wow, that 10-minute walk after dinner really keeps my sugar from spiking. That awareness alone can motivate you to keep going. I had a senior couple, both in their early 70s, who started doing this together. They weren't obsessive about it. They just kept a little notebook where they jotted down meals and how they felt. Within a few weeks, they both lost weight, had fewer blood sugar spikes, and said they felt closer as a couple because they were doing it as a team. Tracking doesn't have to be forever. Even a short burst of intentional reflection can give you the insights you need to make better choices without guessing. It takes the fear out of the unknown and replaces it with clarity. Now let's pause here for a moment, because I know some of you may be feeling overwhelmed. You might be thinking, I've been living this way for decades. Can I really change now? And my answer, from the heart, is yes. You absolutely can. One of the most powerful things I've seen in my years working with older adults is that change is always possible, no matter your age. In fact, many people over 60 make better progress with lifestyle changes than younger folks because they finally have the time, the wisdom, and the motivation to care for their bodies in a deeper way. You don't need to do it all at once. Just choose one habit today. Maybe it's swapping out your breakfast cereal for eggs and spinach. Maybe it's taking a walk around the block after lunch. Maybe it's writing down what you ate and how it made you feel. Maybe it's taking 5 deep breaths before dinner. Start with that, and then do it again tomorrow. The magic is in the momentum. The more you do it, the easier it becomes, and the better you'll feel. Remember, this journey isn't about perfection. It's about direction. Every small step you take brings you closer to balanced blood sugar, better energy, clearer thinking, and a longer, healthier life. And the best part? You're not alone. There are millions of others just like you, choosing to take control, one day at a time. If this video helped you understand your body a little better, or if you feel inspired to make just one small change, I'd love to hear about it in the comments below. What's one habit you're going to try this week? And if you'd like more simple, senior-friendly tips for reversing early diabetes symptoms, be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with a friend or loved one who might benefit from it too. Remember, your health isn't behind you, it's still in your hands. You've got this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.